Podcast Network Asia.
You are listening to First Metro Securities Philippine Stock Market Weekly podcast, where we feature timely and relevant discussions on the Philippine stock market and the economy in the hope of providing you investing and trading guidance. Here's your host.
How's it going, investors? Hi, I'm Anjz, an equity research associate from First Metro Securities, where I cover the consumer sector. In this episode of Market Bites, let me share with you our latest company update on Robinsons Retail Holdings Inc. or RRHI post FY24 earnings results. RRHI's FY24 core income grew 12.3% year-on-year to 6.3 billion pesos, excluding one-time gain from the BPI-R Bank merger recognized early in 2024. Net sales rose by 3.7% year-on-year to 199.2 billion pesos, driven by the sustained growth in the food and drugstore segments, as well as incremental contributions from new stores. Consolidated SSSG for the year stood at 1.5%. Gross profit increased by 5.5% year-on-year, supported by improved product mix, higher penetration of imported and private label brands, and sustained vendor support. Meanwhile, EBIT registered an uptick of 9.1% year-on-year as cost optimization initiatives helped mitigate the impact of expansion-related expenses. On some key takeaways, first, pick-up in consumer spending. The company benefited from the holiday season uplift and the recovery in purchasing power, driven by disinflation. Second, growth drivers. 4Q24 saw a strong momentum across segments, specifically for the food format, drugstore, and department store. Moreover, the period was especially good for staples. And third, 2025 guidance. RRHI is aiming to expand its network to 130 to 170 new stores while maintaining SSSG target of 2% to 4%. Management is also eyeing 5 to 7 billion pesos in organic capex for the year. For critical data points to watch, first on SSSG. Despite the impact of 6 typhoons during 4Q24, SSSG improved to 3.4%, supported by disinflation and robust holiday season sales. Meanwhile, full-year SSSG ended at 1.5%. Next, on margins. FY24 gross profit margins expanded by 40 bps year-on-year, owing to better category mix, sustained supplier support, while EBIT margins improved to 20 bps year-on-year. And lastly, regarding cash conversion cycle days, RRHI's cash conversion cycle increased to 14.6 days in FY24 from 13.7 days in the previous year. In terms of valuation and our recommendation, we are maintaining our buy call and target price at 47 pesos. Our DCF-based TP implies a slight re-rating to 7.96 times FY25 FPE, undemanding and still below -1 standard deviation of mean at 14 times PE. This is appealing given RRHI's improving ROE outlook and higher dividend yield compared to other listed retailers. Again, that's a buy call for RRHI at 47 pesos target price. And that's it for this episode of Market Bites. Hope this has been helpful.
Thanks for listening to First Metro Securities Philippine Stock Market Weekly podcast. Don't forget to follow us to get first dibs on our new episodes. For more up-to-date market news and info, exclusive content, and the opportunity to connect with your fellow Filipino investors and traders, join facebook.com/groups/FirstMetroSec and be part of the FirstMetroSec family.
FirstMetroSec is providing this podcast as a general market commentary. Reference to any specific security, product, or entity do not constitute as an offer or a solicitation of an offer to buy or sell any financial instruments or to participate in any particular trading strategy. The statements, comments, views, or opinions expressed by the hosts are subject to change without notice, and FirstMetroSec is under no obligation to update, amend, change, or correct any of the statements, comments, views, or opinions expressed. The statements, comments, views, and opinions expressed by the guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the view of FirstMetroSec. FirstMetroSec disclaims any liability arising from reliance on or reference to any information obtained in this podcast.
The views and opinions expressed by the podcast creators, hosts, and guests do not necessarily reflect the official policy and position of Podcast Network Asia, the hosts of the program, or other programs of the network. Any content provided by the people on the podcast are of their own opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything.